Family, welcome to Resting on Angel Wings. Today, I want to tell you a little bit more about my life. It's now that I think about it, I had a strange upbringing. You know what I'm saying? My family, they rejected me when I was a kid. They didn't understand me. You know what I'm saying? So I was rejected by my family. Um, but the kids would gather around me. I was a kid just like them, but they would follow me, and I would be able to lead them and tell them different things and strategize and everything, and they was with it, you know. And to me, I thought that was kind of cool, but being rejected by my family, I didn't understand that, you know what I'm saying? And I would be talking to God like I'm on here talking to you guys. I'd be talking to God, and God be answering me, showing me different things, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mother was sprung out on drugs, and my father too. We didn't have no electricity. We were in a one-bedroom apartment with no lights, no power, no nothing. And I'd be talking to God and the angels, you know, and I thought that was normal. But in some situations now, I understand that most people weren't like me, or not like me. I thought everybody was like that. You know what I'm saying? And I believe God gives us breadcrumbs, so when we get older, we have an understanding of who we are and the training that He put us under. Because nothing is for nothing. Everything you go through have a reason. There's a reason behind it, right? So I didn't understand that at the time. You know, I would go to sleep. Even my dreams was different. I don't know how most kids dream, but my dreams was always different. Like, one night I had a dream. I had a dream that when I woke up in the morning, my sister would tell me we're going to Disneyland, but something would happen and we won't be able to go to Disneyland. But I didn't see what would happen. So my sister, she's an addict. Her boyfriend is a drunk. He was the addict. So when I woke up the next morning, my sister was like, "Hey, brother, I'm going to take you to Disneyland." Her dude comes in drunk and start beating on her. Then she couldn't take me to Disneyland, you know. And then it all came together. What God was trying to tell me, what God was telling me. Okay, my grandma. Here's another time. My grandma. My friends were going out of state on vacation, and they asked my grandma if I can go, you know, because my grandma was all I had. My mother and my father, they always would be gone. They were addicts. So I decided to go with my friend, and my grandma let me go. You know, the whole trip I didn't understand. It was something about that trip. You know, I was like, why would she want me to go by myself and leave her there all alone? That's how I was thinking as a kid. I was thinking like that as a kid, and something just wasn't right in my spirit, and I didn't quite understand that too much. And so all the kids was having fun. We happened to be in Minnesota. It was snowing on Christmas. Everybody was happy, but I was sitting there thinking, like, I wonder how my grandma's doing. I wonder what my grandma's doing. You know, what she's up to, because it's just been me and her. So, you know, and the people there, they were really nice. They were like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I couldn't tell them what's wrong, because I didn't know what's wrong. But something was inside of me. It was like God was telling me, prepare yourself. It was like He was trying to prepare me. He was preparing me. So, make a long story short, when we came back to LA from Minnesota, I'm walking back home from my friend's house, and my dad is coming toward me real slow. And it was like God says, she's passed. And He was, the whole time I was on that trip, He was getting me ready to be able to accept that my grandma passed away. So before my dad could say anything, I said, "My grandma died." And I started screaming, man. I started screaming, and my dad said, how you know? I couldn't explain it. She died. He said, yeah. And it broke my heart. I broke down. But let me tell you about the dreams that I would have when I was a kid. I used to have these dreams that um, that every time I would close my eyes, I would, in my dreams, for real, I would turn into like this ninja for God. Because me and God, man, always one. I would turn into like this ninja for God. And I would go on these missions, slaying demons and witches and warlocks, all up in the church houses, all up in the streets. I'll be fighting these demons and warlocks and these witches, man, bad. And I thought it was cool. I was like a superhero, but God was teaching me something. Because look, in my dreams, it was crazy because I would tell people, like my friends, I would tell them, like, 'cause when they have bad dreams, I would tell them, you can be anything you want in your dream. All you got to do is just believe. When you believe, you can turn into anything. I'm always a warrior, slaying demons. And he was like, yeah? I said, yeah. I didn't understand that at the time, what God was doing. Those were breadcrumbs. You can be anything you want if you believe. Believe? Faith. Right? So I didn't understand that at the time. So, and I would always, I don't care, from in the church house, on the streets, I would meet these demons and these witches and warlocks everywhere. And I was surprised to find them in the church. I had two swords. I had my sword and my Bible. Hallelujah. And for some reason, that empowered me. I was unstoppable. Then I had a dream. I was being chased by this maniac, chasing me all around the world, just all around the different states, everywhere, just chasing me. And I end up getting to the boathouse, and then something inside of me, God inside of me, you gotta make a stand. You gotta stop running. The whole time I was afraid. I was running for my life because I thought, man, this maniac is going to kill me. He killed so many people. But when I faced what I had to face, I realized I was more than what I thought I was. And it wasn't really no battle. All I just had to do was stop running. And I defeated him. And it was so quick. And I didn't get it at the time. I didn't understand the breadcrumbs. I didn't understand none of that. But God was teaching me. So from my family being on drugs and rejecting me, to going from foster home to people telling me I'm nothing but a check for being like, I came to the point, even in a foster home, other families were seeing each other, mothers were visiting their kids, fathers were seeing their kids, and it was just me and God. Me and God. Nobody came and visited me. So one time I had a breakdown, sort of like not a breakdown, my heart was heavy. And I said, what did I say? I said, here's the biggest mistake I made. I said, I don't need you. To God, I was a kid, but I was a different kid. I was made differently. It was something about me that I didn't understand. Everybody else understood it. My mother even understood it, but I didn't understand it. She didn't want to be around me because I had so much light coming out of me. Like, I would tell her to go to church. Even as a kid, I would tell her to pray. Even when I got older, same thing. But anyway, So yeah, where was that? So yeah, the foster home. So I told God I didn't, I told him I didn't need him. because I was hurt. I didn't understand what I was going through. I didn't understand all the pain that I was enduring. Not to mention that was training. People don't understand that God gives you breadcrumbs. He lets you know what your life is gonna be about. He lets you know what you're gonna go through. That's why we are built for what we go through. We've been molded and war ready for what we go through. So anyway, so I go to sleep that night, and I had a dream. I was in hell, and the devil was tormenting me. He was tormenting me, but I knew what to say, but I couldn't say it because God had sealed my mouth, and He kept on saying, "You don't need me. You don't need me. You got it." And I couldn't. I was trying to say it like, "No, you don't need me. No, you don't need me." He was showing me, this is what's going to happen to you if you don't have me. I didn't get that. All thing I learned at that point in time is that I needed God in my life. I needed God in my life, and He was more to me than what I knew at the time. So He finally gave me an opportunity to say something, and I just broke out in tears, and I said, "I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, I need you. Please give me," and I was saying it, well, my mouth was still, I was saying it in my head, "Please give me the strength. Please unlock my mouth so I can say what I need to say to get out of here." And soon as He unlocked my mouth, I said, "The Lord rebuke you, Satan." And I was gone. I was out of there. But I learned that lesson, that no matter what I'm going through, I need God, because He's the only one that's going to get me through it. It's okay to go through pain. I'm going to tell you something. Pain taught me a whole lot, and I won't give it up. You know what? I won't trade it for nothing, because each painful moment brought me closer to Christ. Each thing I went through, from being homeless to starving on the street, to the way people treated me, everything. See, there came a time when it was like famine. I didn't have no food, but I learned how to survive. I learned how to survive in most situations where people crumble, and it wasn't because of me, it was because God was right there with me. He was my sustainer. When my family didn't want to help me, when they closed the doors on me, guess what? God was right there. He was teaching me then, I got you no matter what. I'm right here. And as I got older, to this point right now, because it just all fell in place for me, the breadcrumbs, me as a kid dreaming about fighting demons and witches, is what I deal with right now, every day, all the time, right? And me learning as a kid that whatever you believe, you achieve. Like, I believed I was the greatest warrior, and I was a warrior for God. Faith is powerful. Faith moves mountains. The only way to unlock the true power inside of yourself is you gotta have faith. You know, I was always afraid to talk to people about my childhood because I knew that they wouldn't understand, because darkness can't comprehend light. People can go to church every single day, but when you start telling them about the secret things of the Spirit and the spiritual gifts and how you do this and how you do that, they're going to look at you like you crazy, because they go to church, right? But just because you go to church don't mean the Holy Spirit is in you. You know what I'm saying? The devil can be in the church house. Don't mean God is in you. That just means you go to a building, right? So, and every time I try to explain it to people, they be like, "No, yeah, that don't." They look at me like I'm crazy. So I stopped trying to explain it, you know what I'm saying? And I know people like labels and they give themselves different labels. You hear people saying chosen, you hear people saying this and that. I never been one to want a label. I let the light of God speak for me. And not saying having a label is a bad thing. No, it's great. It's like I'm the one, if there's a group of people trying to run, trying to be the king, you know, or trying to lead, I'm the one sitting in the back like, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? But God, it never worked out like that for me. Even when I was a kid, all the kids in the neighborhood, you know, they was like, Darren, what's up? What we gonna do? And I would I would figure it out. I was a leader. They understood. And it was like so easy. And the more they was around me, the more we learned from each other and we became a family. And that's what I learned about myself. It's something about me. It's God inside of me. I can't contain him. Like that song say, it's something about the name of Jesus. When he say it's like a fire built up inside. Yeah, sometimes you can't contain them. And for me, that's true. Man, no matter how no matter what I tried to do, you know, I knew I was different. I'm always going to be different. But that don't mean that I'm weak. I'm always going to be quiet and humble. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing. That just means that I am waiting and I'm impatiently waiting and waiting to hear from God. I gave up my pride and picked up my cross. I've seen the evil going on in this world. And I hate evil. I hate darkness. Yeah, I do. I don't like people being manipulated and taken advantage of. I don't like women being beat and abused. I don't like nobody dominate nobody. And I never liked bullies picking on weak. Matter of fact, when I was in school, I used to knock the bullies. I used to fight the bullies. I used to fight the bullies for the little guys that was getting picked on. That's facts. You know, that's what I did. I mean, I like watching superhero movies. Not because I think they're real, but I just like the fact that good is conquering evil. Light is conquering darkness. See, for me, it's not a race, gender. It's your heart, what's inside of you. My family don't gotta be my blood. It's gotta be the body of Christ. The kingdom citizens. The one that fights for a cause. Understand that you are more than conquerors, and no matter what situations that you fight and facing in life, God called you for that time. God called you for this moment, this very moment, to stand up, pick up your cross, and march. Deny yourself and follow me. You know how easy it was for me to deny myself? Everybody denied me. I didn't even know who I was. I was so scared of being different that I tried to be like so many other different people, to the fact that I never even knew who I was. I always thought I knew what love was. I didn't know what love was till God showed me the love that he had for me. But every time I fell down, he picked me up. Every time I thought I couldn't do it, he showed me I could. His love taught me what love was, and then taught me how to love myself. How he taught me how to love myself? But watching how everybody else treated me. You know, I had abandonment issues. So I would be with a female until she took everything from me. I would go in there, I would go into a relationship with issues. I come out way worse, way broken. The hole inside of my heart would just grow even bigger because I didn't know how to be myself. I just got used to being someone else, living a lie. My world was a dream. Funny, true story. My brother, he came to my house, right? He came to my house one day. And he told me, he said, little bro, you ain't gonna never be at peace until you find out who you is. And he said, you trying to be me, but I came over here for you to release these demons out of me. For you to help me with these demons, because I can't even get no sleep at night. You trying to be me, but I'm asking you for help. Wake up. This is my brother's words. And you know, I didn't get it then. I could never do what he did. I could never. I was too. He called me soft. I don't know. I was overly emotional because I get my traits from my father. You know, God, Abba. I was overly emotional. I love love. I love romantic comedies. I love stuff like that. I like seeing people happy. I like seeing people blessed, even when I'm not blessed. I could be going through a trial and tribulation, but if somebody's doing good, I'm thankful. Matter of fact, I'm asking God to bless them even more, because I know no matter what, my time is coming. And no matter the darkness, it's only lasts for a season. So I don't know if you guys watch this. This is just to let you guys know who I am, and to maybe give you guys an understanding. You know, I'm just like, I'm different. I don't know. Like, I can walk into a room and feel everything in it, and that. Nobody had to tell me I don't like you, because I know just by being in the room with them. People could sit in my face and smile and talk and say 1,000 different words, and I know what's truly inside of them. See, I can look past them and see their demons. And if you're around me long enough, you gotta start telling me about you. And then, you know, I start telling you know what? You should start taking more time out for God. You should start trying to strengthen your relationship with God. I told a friend that, and they rejected me. Oh, you think you better than me. You think, oh man, you think your stuff don't stink. This and that and that and this. And actually told me I talk about Jesus too much. And at that point, I had to go. I had to go. Because I know you're a narcissist, and I don't need that in my life. And God wasn't going to let me stay there. Man, but even in the midst of the chaos, let me tell you, I don't know if people experience this, but I sure do. Even in the midst, I did at that moment. Because I believe God can turn into anything. You know what I'm saying? When God wants to get you, he can turn into whatever he wants. But I was sitting out there on her balcony, and I was just feeling bad. And there was this little bird, little Chi-Chi bird, would sit on the fence and look at me and start singing. And then something will shift in my spirit, and it was just like, and then a song would pop in my head, something uplifting. And I knew, I was like, I don't know why, but I actually took a picture of the bird. You know what I'm saying? Because it meant so much to me. Like, it meant so much to me. But then I started realizing God kept on letting me know I gotta leave. This is not where I'm supposed to be. This is not what it seemed like. It's a trick. It's a trap. She's not who she says she is. She don't like you. She don't love you. She just feeding off of you. And I was like, but God, but she go to church. But God, she study her word. But see, I didn't know, you know, I didn't understand the way I was just starting to learn. I was just starting to understand. Now, mind you, I had all that experience when I was a kid, but some kind of way when I got older, the trials and tribulations of the world kind of made me push all that to the back. So now God is like opening my mind up. So for a long time, it's like I've been in a coma. Now I'm woke. I wake up and everything is like the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, what happened? And it's like, I done took the red pill, so now I see it's crazy, you know. And she knew. She actually told me. She said, "You're an angel." I looked at her. I was like, "What?" She said, "You know, nobody never treated me like you treat me. You know, you sing to me, you cook for me, and that all that was beautiful and wonderful, right?" But she hated that because she was in love with the darkness she had inside of her. See, I was praying all in her house. I was praying, and she started to see changes. You know what I'm saying? She started to see changes, but believe it or not, some people think darkness is life. Some people think being in darkness is living. She actually told me, "Well, I'm gonna live my life to the fullest until it ends." I'm like, "Yeah, but you can't live." And I would try, not saying that I would try to condemn her. No, I wanted the best for her, and she knew it. But she chose what she chose. And it got to the point where God had to tell me, "Look, you got to go." Because the longer I was standing there, it started to affect me, It started to affect me. Like her narcissist, her spirit started trying to dominate. And she would get mad at me praying. And it was just, I knew I was in a war with a demon. And I just started calling her wicked because I knew what it was. It didn't like me. It didn't like me being there. Her house was organized. Her house was at peace. But it couldn't do what it wanted to do. And every day, it had to look at me. And when it looked at me, it seen the bright light of Christ inside of me. And it couldn't take it. She looked at me like she want to growl sometimes. But, you know, it's all good, you know. And it broke my heart, man. It broke my heart. But then I also had to learn, because I had to learn what soul ties was, because even though I knew she wasn't good for me, I still wanted to talk to her. I still wanted to be around her because I was lonely and I really didn't want to be by myself. And even though we canceled each other out because darkness can't be with light, I had to realize that something was wrong with that. So one night, and I know this been a long one, but one night I gave everything to God, everything that I was going through, everything that I was dealing with, from everything that I was going through, and I wanted to be free, because at that moment it was like some kind of spell was on me. Like, she would get information out of me, and then once she got what she wanted, she'd turn and start attacking me. "You need to do this. And I was like, and then I start to feel my peace leave me. I start to feel my energy drain from me. And I realized, I said, "Oh, no. I said, Lord, take these soul ties away from me." And the last time I talked to her, I told her, I said, "No, I demand my peace to be still. No, you're not taking my peace no more." And that was that. So I know I talked to y'all about a whole lot, but that was just to let y'all know, a little bit about how God will train you and prepare you for what you have to do ahead of time. From childhood to adulthood, God is training you. No moment, no time, nothing is accidental. Everything is planned. Everything is organized. Everything is to bring you to where you are. God don't make no mistakes. He's sovereign. He's got full control and power. Every trial and tribulation is pretty much an already played game. God is just leading you through it. So anyway, family, I'm sorry for the long message, and I hope y'all have a blessed rest of your evening. I just really wanted to give you guys a piece of my heart. I know it's gonna, for those who can understand everything I was saying and talking about, or that can relate to it, leave a comment. Tell me how it was when you was a kid. Tell me the breadcrumbs God left you, because he left me a whole lot, and I know it ain't just me. I know we are far and few, and I mean few. But for those of us that are warriors for Christ, that know we're different, it's that time. It's that time. It's time for us to shine. It's time for us to get up and lead and fight and take what's ours back. See, the wicked store up wealth for the righteous. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, family, have a blessed rest of your evening. Peace.